Hi there. My devotional for today comes from John 19, verses 1 to 11. It says, Pilate took Jesus and had him flogged. The soldiers twisted together a crown of thorns and they put it on his head. They clothed him in a purple robe and went up to him again and again, saying, Hail, King of the Jews! And they even slapped him in the face. Once more Pilate came out and said to the Jews gathered there, Look, I'm bringing him out to you to let you know that I find no basis for a charge against him. When Jesus came out wearing the crown of thorns and the purple robe, Pilate said to them, Look, here is the man. But as soon as the chief priests and their officials saw him, they just shouted, Crucify him! Crucify him! But Pilate answered, You take him and you crucify him. As for me, I find no basis for a charge against him. But the Jewish leaders insisted, We have a law, and according to that law he must die, because he claimed to be the Son of God. When Pilate heard this, he was even more afraid. And when he went back inside the palace, he said to Jesus, Where do you come from? But Jesus gave him no answer. Do you refuse to speak to me? Pilate said. Don't you realize I have the power either to free you or to crucify you? Jesus answered him, You would have no power over me if it were not given to you from above. Now, my point for you to meditate on today is this. Who do you believe is ultimately in control of the destiny of your life? When Jesus stood before the Roman governor Pilate, he was at the beginning of the most difficult chapter of his life. But he makes an incredible statement, one that we would do well to remember in the midst of difficulty so that we can maintain perspective and peace. Those who were making decisions for Jesus only had the appearance of power over Jesus. Ultimately, it was his Father in heaven who decided whether events would or not take place. So as Christians, we need to remind ourselves that it is our Father in heaven who ultimately holds control over the destiny of our lives. In John 10:29, speaking about his followers, Jesus says, My Father, who has given you to me, is greater than all, and no one can snatch you out of my Father's hand. To illustrate this a little more, let me close with this story. A German botanist who was traveling in Turkey saw a very rare flower growing in the cleft of a rock, a few meters down the side of a very high ravine. He went to the local marketplace looking for some help to get it, and after several hours of searching, he found a young local boy who was playing with a rope. The botanist said to the boy, If you will let me hold that rope and rappel down the side of the ravine to collect me a special flower, I will give you 10 pieces of gold. The boy stopped and thought for a minute and then replied, If you wait for a little while longer, I will go and get my father to come and to hold the rope. If my father holds the rope, then I will willingly go down and get any flower you wish for free. So the question is, who do you believe holds the rope of destiny to your life? And as Christians, we can answer confidently, it is our Father in heaven.